So perfect. So what's up, bro? Uh, so now I have some really cool stuff to ask you because I have seen your journey, and I think everyone from my audience gonna love it. Because you come from like Ukraine and now you're set up in Miami, the city, man, and you're crushing it.
Man,
So
I mean,
how it
thank you
all
for having
started,
me.
bro?
So, I mean, started. I think it always starts at a young age, man. Like, it starts at a young age where you have this like inception that you want to live differently. You know that like whatever like way your parents lived, like maybe you want to live somewhere like differently. So I grew up in like in a post like Soviet Union like environment. We were like very poor, and because of that, like my family like always struggled with money. So money for me always was like a subject of like fuck, it's like it's like I want to see, so for example, give you example, like from the age of like 7 till age of 15, I didn't see my mom because like she was working in other countries. She was like cleaning houses and stuff, and that just like fuck, like I want to be so fucking rich that like, you know what I mean? I had this like inception, but I mean, you don't know like, yeah, you want to be rich, so what? Everyone fucking wants to be rich, right? But it's like there's so many moving parts. There's like the
Yeah.
knowledge on how to do it. There's the mindset limitations. Yeah, I want to be rich, but also like, oh, but then also you see like rich people around you, and rich people usually like assholes in my country, and so you see these like bad role models, you know. And so I think role models is everything. I think it's like, you know how like 100 years ago they used to have like the apprenticeship and shit, like where like to learn a skill, you have to kind of like learn from someone, right? An idea like that probably was all in person. There was no fucking internet 100 years ago. There was no Zoom 100 years ago, right? Like you had to actually physically go to the place where the other
Yeah.
person was and learning from them. And I think like, from that standpoint, like we right now have like fucking
Yeah.
tremendous opportunity, because to learn from someone, to get mentored by someone, to just like get that inception, right? To be in the community of like other like entrepreneurs, or doesn't have to be entrepreneurs, like whatever you want to learn, like you don't have to fucking leave your room, you know? Yeah, you can do like fuck. I mean, it's so convenient right now. People don't appreciate
Yeah.
it. Like people
Yeah.
like don't even understand it because they haven't lived, in those times where that shit wasn't accessible. So for me, it's like that was the inception, right? But then I think it's kind of like it would be perfect if I could like summarize like one event or like one thing that's like kind of like just made everything. But it's like I think it's a summary of small events. It's a summary of small decisions. Like you go to the gym, right? It's like, yeah, like how did you get ripped? You ask like anyone who's fucking good shape, like how do you get ripped?
Yeah.
Shit, man, like last fucking 10 years I busted my ass in a gym like 3 times a week or 5 times a week, right? And that's how people get ripped. And so I think that's one mindset shift that people have to. I think if once people adopt it, that it's okay. It won't be like overnight, right? It won't be like tomorrow you will not be fucking Andrew Tate. You will not be. You will not be living in Dubai and having like all of the girls and like whatever you want. Like it won't happen, right? It fucking won't happen. Just prepare for the 5-10 years like of fucking grind. Like, and if you prepare for that, it's fine, because it's step by step. Okay, something works, something doesn't. You keep learning. You keep like, okay, let me make this move like a little bit better than previous. And so I think that was a mindset for me, like, okay, fuck it, I want to be rich, but like, even if it takes me like fucking 10, 20 years, like, fuck that, it's okay. I want to take care of my family for generations. Like,
You're gonna do
you know what I mean? It's like, fuck. What does it matter? Like 10, 20 years, I mean, it will go by anyway. Like,
it.
I
Yeah.
mean, how
I
old
get
are
it.
you? Okay, cool, man. Yeah, we're similar. We're
Yeah.
dinosaurs in this industry. They're
I'm
like
like
these kids,
34.
So I'm like, okay, even if it takes like, 10 years or 20 years, okay, you'll be 40, 50. You'll be 40 or 50 anyway, right? But then you're getting on this journey, like you're building a business. Sometimes it
Yeah.
requires like, sacrifice, like on a, on the front end to get the outcome, later on. Like you investing in your business, like you buying inventory. If you're like in e-commerce, like you're buying inventory, like that's a sacrifice. I mean, that's investment. Like, you know what I mean? And I know so many fucking people, man, that just can't fucking get over it.
Yeah.
They want everything fucking now. Like I know people that made a fucking
Mm,
killing, made so much money. Like, I mean, you made good money. I mean, you told me your story. Like you were part of that, project that made like a lot of money. I know people that directly made a lot of money, like fucking millions, like millions of dollars. But then, instead of like, okay, so
yeah.
I made this money. Okay, that's cool. Let me just like start building something that like 5 years from now will still exist, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they just decide, no, fuck no. I'll be looking for another
Mm-hmm.
loophole. I'll be looking for
Mm-hmm.
another like short term, like let me drop ship this product with shitty customer experience, like, and let's like, So I think that's just the mindset. That's just the evolution that needs to happen. In many
Yeah.
people's like first it happens in the mind. Once you accept it, you're okay with that, right? You're okay that like, that maybe you will not make as much money like today, but you build this foundation for your brand or for whatever, like, you
Yeah.
know.
Man, you so damn good, man. I'm not sure how many people gonna hear this thing out. They wanna see some numbers and millions of dollars, but man, I cannot stress this enough. I feel this every single day. Maybe you feel the same thing every single day. Because sometimes we also
Yeah,
go get like out of that way and we are thinking maybe it's too late, we are in
man,
30s
that
and
that 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 headline,
I
like
feel that,
that headline, when
it's
they
a
when
reminder
these
for
YouTubers
myself. So
these
these
YouTubers make a
videos
headline,
I make,
this 18 years old, like
yeah,
making like $20 million a year. That headline gets me. I click on that video. So we are all like, I think
yeah,
I think what we have, like, everyone has FOMO. Everyone has FOMO. Like probably fucking Elon Musk has FOMO, right? Like, but he
true,
knows how to deal with it, right? Because we're all humans. And the jealousy, I think Charlie Munger said that
true,
world is not driven by greed, but it's driven by envy. We are jealous of other people, right? We are jealous,
mm-hmm,
like, and we can say, no, I'm not jealous. I'm totally fucking
mm-hmm,
selfless. I'm like this, like fucking monk. No, you're fucking not. You're fucking human. Like, everyone is like, and it just, yeah, okay, but I know how to, but if you learn how to control your
yeah,
emotions, right?
totally. Yeah, totally, totally, man. This is so damn good to hear in the first, obviously, 10 minutes of this video that, we always think like maybe we have to make the money right here, right now, this year, this month, maybe next 2 months. But if we start thinking about a little bit long term, everything actually, looks like so damn easy, or at least ease on your mind. Uh, because and it happens like people, you see a guy who is making like millions of dollars and he's like
Yeah.
maybe 22 or 25 and you feel like, man, I'm not doing that. And you feel like, I need to just stop, and maybe I start questioning myself, self doubt, and all those crazy stuff happens, and you are doing nothing. And as you said, like
Yeah.
very rightly said, eventually you're gonna grow old no matter what. You're gonna reach out to that age, so you better do that thing and keep doing that. And once you reach out there, you will be far ahead of what you can actually be if you're just thinking about those FOMO stuff and all those kind of stuff, right? So damn true. So, bro,
It
when
was
you started
2000.
this e-com business, when it actually started, which
So
year?
2000. I mean, e-commerce started for 2016, 17, 2016. Yeah, 2016, 17. So it's
Almost
like,
the same time when I
I
started.
started as a freelancer, like
Uh-huh.
it used to be Elance, right? And and so we moved with my wife from like Ukraine to Poland because
Uh-huh.
we were
Yeah,
like,
I
we're
remember.
not making money, like economy like is shit in Ukraine, and like so we just moved out, and we went to work for a factory because like I mean I had no skills. I didn't speak English language. I didn't speak Polish language. I had no fucking skills. I mean, full package, and like, and so like we were like, what the fuck I'm going to do? And did man, I was a fucking 25,
And
25.
how old were you that
You
time?
know, at that point, like, and
Yeah.
yeah, and I felt like
And you
fucking
were married
failure,
back then,
because like
25.
25 years old, hasn't achieved shit,
Uh-huh.
kind of like can't provide for my family, like, you know what I mean? It's so fucking like, I don't know. It's kind of like, but there is also like part of it like was
Yeah.
like, I think
No, no.
this mindset was also like kind of like damaging, because the moment you think, oh, poor me, oh, I grew up in this like fucked up country, oh, poor me, like, oh, fuck, oh, please, like, shit, like, no one gives a fuck, like, shit, like, I mean, okay, like, I mean, fuck, you didn't choose, like, I mean, Elon Musk didn't choose to be born in fucking South Africa, like, fuck, we don't choose the families we were born in. We don't choose the countries we were born in, right? And so I had a lot of like self pity at that point. It's like, oh, it's like because like and that just needs to change like on the mindset level, because like I thought like because I was born in Ukraine or didn't speak English, like I had a lot of like limiting beliefs. I thought like people from Ukraine, they don't fucking make it, and you just like, you kind of like limiting yourself from even like taking money. But at some point, I think what was helpful for me was the amount of pain like that I had to go through, like, because I was working like so we came to Poland and we were working in this factory. It's like $2 per hour, fucking 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. We work with my wife, I just got married, like, and we make like, not a lot of money. I don't know, like together we made like $1,000, like $1,500 a month. And, we were like in this factory where it's like, you have all of these we were making like cups, like, Oktoberfest, when they drink like a lot of beers. So,
Yeah.
we were actually making cups for Oktoberfest. Man, those were fucking phenomenal
Right.
cups. Like this ones, big ones. Like you pour a fucking beer in it. No, it's from ceramic, from clay.
Made out of wood, right?
Yeah, and so we were making that. But then we were
Okay.
fucking dirty, like
Okay.
all day in the fucking clay. It's like breathing that shit. You want to spit, and it's like fucking. It's all red. Like your whole fucking guts is like red. You come to the fucking shower after work, and you water kind of like pours on you, and it's all red. Like, and it's so fucking disgusting. And but like so we were going there, and I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, it's kind of like accumulates. I think in every person, it's like accumulates, and then you just like blow up. Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
exactly. And so I'm like,
Just like a
one day I'm
volcano.
like, we come from that, and I'm like, fuck. Like, I don't want to fucking live like this, man. Like, fuck. Like, I'll do whatever I need to fucking do. Like, I didn't want to be like a fucking billionaire, like fucking trillionaire. Like, I wanted to be working in the fucking office. In the office, that was my fucking dream. Like, if I had a fucking job in the office, I would feel myself so fucking fulfilled and happy compared to like working that dirty like factory. And like, okay, so I'm going from the office, and this is like one moment decision that I think that you ask me about decision. That's like probably one of those important decisions. I take all of my clothes from my work, dirty as fuck, and I take that. I take those clothes, and I'm like, taking all those clothes, and fucking throwing them away in the fucking garbage. And my wife's like, what are you doing? I'm like, shit. We're not going back to that fucking factory. Like, I'm not going back. And I call the guy and I say, sorry, we'll not be coming back. Thank you. You've been great to us. Like, and that's fucking it. And then like, fuck, what I'm going to do? Like, I had savings for like few months, like literally a few months of living at that point, which is, I think, super important. Like when you start making money, don't blow it all, man. Like people listening, like don't blow it. Like save the money because that's your fucking ticket. Especially if you don't like what you're doing right now and you want to make a change, that money, that capital is your fucking ticket. I was always like, at that point, I was thinking, okay, like how much money do I have? How many months of like expenses can I cover as I have this like money? And I think that's so important. Like, don't blow it on fucking bags and shit. Like, initially, just accumulate some capital. Accumulate, I don't know, whatever is kind of like meaningful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to I like to call it like the war
Some leverage,
chest.
right?
And
Have some leverage.
it's I like at that point my goal was to have like a war chest for 1 year of expenses. Even if I did like nothing, right? I could provide for basic like food, like rent,
Nothing.
all of those expenses for my family for a year. That was my goal. I didn't have it, but that was my goal.
Right. Yeah.
And so yeah, so we just made that decision, and then
Okay.
like I started like fuck, what I'm going to do now. Like, so I have no job now. My wife also has no job. We're like sitting in a we had like what am I going to do? And I'm starting Googling and shit, and like I found I knew some people that were doing like freelancing, and freelancing was like, I knew, okay, you can work remotely with companies, like somehow, like I didn't know what to do, like how to do, and you can make some money. And I started like learning about that, and I signed up on Elance, and I started going through like ads. Okay, so we're looking for this person who will do like search engine optimization. We'll look for this person who do like and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm like search engine optimization expert. Like I created a profile for me, like with a Google Translate, like or just kind of like made it up. And then like, okay, what is actually search engine optimization? And I start fucking learning, like fuck, at that point, like I don't think I have that learning capacity right now, because if I had that like learning like capacity that I had, I don't know, we would probably be like fucking, I don't know, we'd probably do like 500 million.
The grind which we do in our first years are like the best grind which we can actually ever do. Now I even feel the same thing. Like I used to like grind full day, full nights.
And I think it comes
I'm
with
not
pain,
doing
because
the
I mean,
same grind
maybe you
right
got
now,
a little
for
bit
sure.
comfortable. I definitely got comfortable. I mean, because like once you have your basic like needs covered,
True.
then like what's actually pressing. So for me, I'm
Needs.
trying to like, so even today we have like an event with like a private like party, mastermind, and like it's
Mastermind.
huh?
You invited me for
Oh
that.
yeah, I was inviting you, right? And
Yeah, you
man, that
invite me.
will be
You
fucking
invited me
amazing.
for
And
that actually
we'll have some awesome
on the
people, like
email.
people.
Yeah.
100% women done. And
Invite
it's,
me the next time, bro.
the people that we'll have there are people like, for
Yeah.
example, one guy who will be speaking there, like he's and attending he sold his company for $500 million. It's the company is called Boxy Charm. I mean, you
Holy
can
shit.
Google it. It's on the internet. And it's the guy is like 40 something. Like he's obviously like set for life. His kids and grandkids and his all of his generations are set, right? If they don't blow it, like, but that's kind of like,
True.
I'm that's what I can do, like to do that. Because fuck, I mean, I can buy like pretty much any car I want. Like, can buy like what? Fuck, I mean, I need real estate. Here's I can buy it. Like, so there's nothing really like that is, there's no discomfort. Like, and I think that's not the best place to be. Like, because you always want to be striving for something. So what I'm doing with myself is kind of like engineering
True.
that pain of, yeah, engineering pain. I think you have to engineer pain. Like, if there's no natural
Again.
pain, I think the problem with most people is that they're just like tolerating pain. Yeah, they're like, they're like, even if they are in pain, oh yeah,
Keep
I don't
comfortable.
like my 9 to 5
Yeah,
job,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, it's okay, it's all right. Oh, it could be.
I think I know that situation, and it's a very bad situation when you actually are
Yeah.
suffering, but you're suffering enough that you can actually stay at that place, but you're not doing enough to get out of that, and that's a circle you cannot exit, and that's a very very bad place to be in because you are stuck. You cannot go anywhere from, like,
Yeah.
you are not gonna go up, you are not gonna go down,
Exactly.
you're just
And
gonna be
that
there,
also,
and
and
that's a
part of
very very
that, and
bad
part
place
of
to
that
be.
issue is that you allow yourself to be suffering, and you have self pity for you suffering. It's like, oh, poor me. Like, I have this like 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And then what people do is they surround themselves with like 10 other people,
Yeah.
five out, there's like this saying, like, but that's true. Whoever you surround yourself with. So they surround themselves with like people that
Yeah.
also, oh, I don't like my 9 to 5 either. Oh, poor us. Poor us. Like, how unfair the world is. How fucking unfair. Like, oh, like, you know what I mean? It's like, and
Mm-hmm.
then they surround and they kind of like justify it. And they feel good for a moment
Yeah.
because they have the victim mentality. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
poor me,
Mm-hmm.
man. I had the same, and I just know I just know what it is. And my parents are still the same. Like, I love my parents,
Yeah.
but they're like,
Totally.
my parents, like when the war happened,
Mm-hmm.
I took my parents to safe environment. I
Yeah.
mean, they're in Ukraine, the fucking rockets flying everywhere. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
imagine you're sitting in your fucking house, like the fucking rocket comes, like there's no fucking house. Like,
Yes.
there's no
Yes.
fucking like whole fucking district,
Yeah.
like shit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so when the war happened, I'm like, get the
Right.
fuck out, like move. Like, this is not safe country. Move, right? So we arranged, like, me and my sister is in Canada. We arranged like the tickets, like fucking accommodation, like everything. And we moved them to Canada. And yeah, and then but then, like, so they moved to Canada, and then like
Amazing.
they still kind of like in that mindset. Oh, they feel like, they're missing the country, which is normal. They're older people, but then, they like, oh, we don't want to, we just want to come back. And even though it's not a safe environment, but then like they came back and they're like, I only can speak to them like a few times a week because
Yes.
they have the outages of electricity. So the government only turns on lights like a few times a
Time
week
zone.
or so, you know.
Yeah.
And so, but they're in that mindset of
Yeah.
like,
I
poor
heard that.
us.
Right.
Like, whereas like, fuck, man. I mean, if your country's fucked, your country's fucked. I mean, like, you haven't started your country. Like, I haven't started my country. Like, shit. I mean, move to a better environment if you don't like it. If it's not safe, like, move your family. You know, like Jewish people. Like, I live in a
Yeah.
city where there were like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
Jewish people, and fucking Germans. Like, during the not Germans are amazing people, but like during the World War II, they were like, they were like destroyed, like killed. And those that had that were like
Yeah.
smart and like could
Mm-hmm.
manage to get
Mm-hmm.
out, like they got out. They went to United States. I mean, they worked hard. Yeah, they work hard. I mean, they're on the country now.
right?
They're on the
They
country
have built
now. Awesome
billion
people,
dollar
smart people.
businesses
Like, but
in
they
US.
like they could choose to like
Yeah, yeah.
to choose
True.
like the
Smart.
the victim mentality. Yes, like poor us, like or
Stay
like
back.
yeah, let's let's move, let's make the changes, and they chosen that, and I think that's like that's what you have to
Move
do.
on.
Like
Amazing.
so, I think it's like we deviated a lot, but like I think that's kind of like the mind on the mind.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. No, I understand. You were actually
Hmm.
sharing your true story. So that's completely fine to get a little bit, distracted from there, but that's completely fine. Amazing, man. Like that's the grind. I think everyone, a lot of people from
CEO
India
of
are
Google,
like
man. CEO
migrating
of
to
Google.
like
Like,
Canada,
is that
Australia,
guy
and all
still
other
running the
countries.
company?
And I get it. Like,
Right?
yeah, Indian. Almost every company
That's
in
it, man.
Silicon Valley,
Smart
the big
people, amazing
ones,
people.
currently the CEOs are Indians. You pick Mastercard. You pick Mastercard. You like the previous CEO of even Twitter was like an Indian. The CEO of Microsoft is also from like kind of Indian origin. Like almost all the big companies currently, and because we like from India, like they have
Yeah,
great, like we have great talent on engineering and
one
like
hundred
great
percent.
mindset. Hustle and grind is like the common
Yeah,
characteristic of
yeah,
almost every Indian because we have seen those times, you know.
100
So,
percent, man.
and that's the reason. Maybe you have
Killing
seen
it.
a lot of Indians in your program as well, or maybe you have seen a lot of Indian entrepreneurs. Yeah, so they know how to hustle.
That's it, man.
So
I
yeah,
think
man, more
the
power to
opportunity is there
our
for people
countries,
that
your
want to
country, my
like
country,
move out and like
for
find
all the
find a way
grind.
to move their family and just like find a better life. I think we're yeah.
Maybe I will
Yeah.
move to just next door to to your house. You never know. But great, man. So okay, so let's fast forward it to the year which where you made the most amount of
2020,
money.
so
The
2017.
first year which in
So
e-commerce.
as
So
I was
which year was
freelancing, I
that?
started like I was seeing one of my clients doing the drop shipping store, and I'm like 2016, 17,
Uh huh.
and I started like testing like different like products and stuff because like I've seen where he buys the products, like how he sells them, and I was running Facebook ads for him, which was pretty much generating him sales, and I'm like okay, and so one of those stores like
Mm-hmm.
started to pick up like significantly. It was selling
Mm-hmm.
like watches, like free plus shipping watches, and yeah, it's very like, I mean, it's good looking watch, but I
Ah,
mean,
nice.
you can't expect a lot for like $10, $12. But I mean, that one in the first year we've done like
True.
4.1 million dollars
True.
in sales. Yeah, so accelerate. I mean, it wasn't like the first store, the
Really?
first store,
The
but like
first one?
before that, I had first year of like
But
properly
it was
having
your
this
first
like
year.
intention, because like I think it's like, oh, how many years you been in commerce? Like, oh, I've been in commerce like since 2000,
Okay.
2001. Like, fuck. I mean, by now you'd have fucking Walmart. Like, it's like, well,
Mm-hmm.
what the fuck have you been doing like 20 years? And so I think intention is what matters. Like, okay, what type of like I really want to take
Uh,
this like seriously. So what the first year when I took this seriously,
yeah, that's true.
that was pretty
That's true.
successful. Like so $4 million. But then also, and I made about like $1 million in profit, like 25% margin, and it was
Holy
very
shit.
like kind of like
Re- And you were doing it. So, bro, this is interesting. I wanna just dig it down here, before even we move forward. So, okay, with intentions, this is your first year, like with full focus, and you are thinking about, okay, I'm gonna crush in e-commerce, and this is your watch store. You're doing free plus shipping model. What exactly made you that $4.1 million? Was it like good Facebook ads? or was
Good
it
offer,
like
man. Like,
you
so
were good at
literally the
offer
ads were like image
creation? What
ads.
was
There
it?
were no like videos or anything like that because the offer was so good. I think the offer is so important. Like, and it's also very transparent. Okay, get this watch for free, just pay shipping. So people were thinking like they're getting the watch. I mean, they were getting watch for free, but they were paying for shipping. So we would charge like $12 for shipping, and that's where we'd make our money. And that's it. Like, so it's like it's a good offer. So we had the conversion rate of
Okay.
like 10%. Like I think 8 to 15%. It was like always like kind of like all over the place, but conversion rate was very high because of the offer. Our ads were shit. I mean,
So
some of our, I mean, the ads I made like fucking in like just like dragging and
yeah,
dropping. I don't remember it was Canva or some other tools, but it was like just pretty much like Photoshop and just like dragging and dropping like watch
got it.
free and like
Yeah.
so that was that, right? Obviously things change a lot since then. It was like 2016 17. I mean the competition was almost like non-existent, like so product page.
Yeah.
Product
And
page. So yeah, super simple
was it
because
a
so I
product
think
page or
I
was
think
it
you don't want to
a
be
landing
selling
page
like
or
cheap products with very complicated funnels, right? You'll have a big drop off. So it was simply like a product page, very simple
yeah.
description, few like reviews and stuff, like looks or whatever, like and then and that was it. Like it was pretty
Yeah.
simple
Yeah.
setup. Now I wouldn't be able to replicate that today. I see some people still trying, but like that's hard right now. Like it's things changed so much. Like since then, it's incredible. Right now we do like higher ticket products or consumable products. Like the video creative is a lot more important. So that's what we put like a lot of intention. We have our here. We just moved
Right.
our video
Effort.
video guy. Like so, we're setting like the he's from Russia, so we help him to move here. We're setting like in-house kind of like production here,
Studio.
studio and stuff to just like create like a lot of content. And
Yeah.
but things changed a lot. Like
Creatives. Right. So so basically
yeah,
you
and
made
then
your
like so
first million
I
dollar
was
in
running, and it was like
profits
I mean
in
it was like a cash
2017.
cow. Like that thing was so like was so profitable. But then I met some guys,
Uh-huh.
actually Russian guys, and
Uh-huh.
they're like, we want to buy the store. Like, we want to buy the store from you. I'm like, okay. And so they they paid me like $1 million for it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I made like $2 million, like within like maybe
Another
one
million.
year. I mean, okay, like one and a half, like probably like year and a half. I made like one and a half. I made 1 million from the store, and then
Uh-huh.
so $2 million. Yeah.
And
Which
one
was
million from the buyout.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Oh. So basically
I think
that
two
changed the
million
game
dollars
for you, right?
is not small amount of money. Like you can do a lot of things with. Yeah,
It's a lot of money, bro.
yeah,
It's a lot of
and
money. When you have that much amount of money, you
and
can
so
do a
yeah,
lot
so
of crazy stuff
that's
with
kind of
that.
like that's when it changed. And then we were like, because we were doing stuff for clients,
Okay. Perfect.
like as a like freelancer, and like we had few people that were helping us out, but then we just like decided to most of our effort just to dedicate
Uh-huh.
to our own projects. Like I don't believe in like these kind of like done for you services.
Right.
Like I think it's too it's a lot of work, right? And then when you grow someone's like
Yeah.
business, like you don't get the upside, you don't get the exit
Right.
value, right? Like you might take someone business
True.
from like
Right. Right.
yeah, or like from $100,000 to like $1 million like per month.
0 to
And then like
$100,000.
what? The person like at some point they'll probably fire you, and at some point they'll probably they're just like, okay, thank you, you
For sure.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. You've done a great
I know
job,
the game
son.
now.
We'll take it
I
from
understand the
here.
game now.
And
I'm done.
and so they have yeah. So that's kind of like just like, fuck,
Yeah.
like I just like don't. I just don't want to do that. And yeah, we started doing our own stuff, but it's like it wasn't like kind of like yeah, we've had our first success, right? And then it's like, yeah, we made like $2 million. Yes, sounds phenomenal, right? But then again, it's a long-term game. I mean, you're making mistakes. It's like bad decisions, bad investment decisions, bad bad fucking luck. you know,
Yeah.
it's like buying like stuff. It was like getting like scammed,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't go through that? And then like, but then like we kind of
Yeah.
like deviated a lot.
Yeah.
And but then like 2019, 20, 20 was phenomenal year. Fuck, like, but 2021 was phenomenal. 22 was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it all comes down to the experience. Like if you know how to like adapt, like one thing that we all have to accept is that things tomorrow will not be the same things today, right? And the only variable that's like for sure will happen is change, right? Like ads on Facebook, 2023, you'll probably have to do different ads than you did in 2022. Like 2024, you'll probably have to do different ads than in 2023, right? Your landing page structure, right? Like your copy, your competition will change. There will be probably people trying to put you out of
Everything's gonna
business, trying
change.
to undercut you, trying to like DMCA you. And so I think we just have to like learn how to like, because I had this perception of the business that's like from not the best like role models, that like you start a business and you make some money and then you kind of like chill and life is perfect and life is good, right? And like that's what they show you. That's what they show you. The fucking entrepreneurship, like how it's positioned like on Instagram, is like, yeah, the guy goes in a car and from the car and like he goes and dinners, like has dinner in the restaurant. That's how it's positioned, right? Doesn't show like all of this stuff. Like if the guy runs the business, there's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
And but then that's something that you kind of like learn on the way, because like if you were to know like all of the moving parts, you probably wouldn't even start a business. It's like, oh man, that's a lot of work. Like I probably just find a good job, like I let the other guy take care of the other things. But yeah, those
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
are
For
kind
sure.
of
For
like,
sure.
I think once you have experience, you have everything. Like it's such a like, why do you think like, why Elon Musk, like, okay, like we're all dumb, we're all like fucking dummies, right? Like we're all like small like fishes. Like Elon fucking Musk, when he was young kid, like our age, like 30, like yeah, he had success with PayPal. I mean, PayPal was this fucking close to getting bankrupt
Yeah.
once they have figured out like the fucking
Right.
product market fit. Like, so
The
was he
monetization model
dumb?
and everything, right?
Is he dumb? Was he like dummy? Like fucking Stanford, Harvard, fucking MBA, DBA, fucking like whatever, like BA. You know?
He has more experiences at a bigger level than what we
Tesla,
have right now,
fucking
and the more
Tesla.
bigger
Was he
level
dummy?
experiences you
Like, was
have,
he
the
dumb?
better
Like to
entrepreneur you
almost getting
become.
like Tesla bankrupt, or fucking the space? Yeah, like
Yeah.
these are smartest fucking entrepreneurs. Like
Same
Jeff
SpaceX.
Bezos. Like, you know what I mean? So what can we fucking expect from ourselves, right? I
Yeah.
think we just have to like embrace. It's like you know, just embrace.
Right.
I can
Embrace
tell you,
the
man, like
failures,
it's so
basically.
fucking
Learn from them and
fascinating.
just
Like,
keep adapting, keep
because
moving no
this
matter
is like,
what, right?
if you don't expect that, then it will be shocking for you. But if you expect that, then it will be like, okay, it's all right. That just like that was just about to happen. So
Yeah.
I was, when we were starting like running projects and like we had our first store and then like more stores. Like, it was such a pain for me to hire people that because I made few bad hiring decisions, I hired people and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, run the ads for me, make me money. Like, and people obviously fucked up because I didn't train them properly. I didn't supervise them. I was a bad leader. And so, yeah, everyone did that. Like, unless your father was
I've
like
done that.
entrepreneur and like taught you like step by step, but even then you would make mistakes. Like, who doesn't? Like, and
True.
with that, like, I think if people embrace that, they'll make mistakes and it's okay. As long as they learn from mistakes and try not to do the same mistakes like 20 times. I mean, that would be fucking stupid, But I was doing the same. Like, I would hire the person, I wouldn't
Right.
train them properly,
Right.
and
Right.
then okay, this person is bad. We fired them. The person lost us a lot of money. We hire another one, and I would do the same thing. I was like, hey, make me money, and then it started like.
Do the
And
same.
I started getting like more like mentorships and masterminds. I'm like, did you like train that person? Like, did you like have like daily calls with that person to train them and like show them what you do and like mentor them and guide them? No, I mean, I pay them money. I mean, they're supposed to fucking know that, right? It's like, shit,
No.
And yeah. So, but that was, and that for a long time, like, oh fuck, I don't want to even hire people. I will work myself to death, like, but I'll just work very hard. I don't want to hire anyone, right? I would just like, So I think those are the things that, we just have to be aware of that, things and mistakes will happen, right? I think it's the best thing to do is kind of like accept them with humor. That was glorious fuck up, like shit, and like just accept them and laugh and like and move on,
Yeah.
and try again.
So true. So true, bro. Okay. So, Alex, we are almost out with the time. I think we have to do like part two to cover up the whole
Uh-huh.
narrative. So, before we wrap this up, for sure, first of all, whosoever is watching this video, comment down below if you want the part two with Alex. We're gonna get him back on part two, and we're gonna talk more about, because he's currently doing, if I'm not wrong, the last time I
I
checked,
mean,
he
we
is
finished
currently
20.
doing
We
four point
finished
five
2020
million dollar a
in
month,
terms
if
of
I'm not
revenue.
wrong, maybe more than that.
We finished like last year at 35 million
Uh-huh.
dollars. 35. Oh, almost. It's 34. It's almost 35.
Amazing. Got it. So if you
I'm on
guys want
Instagram.
part
It's
two, just
Alex
let me know. So
Faratel3F at the
Alex, where
end.
people can actually find you?
And YouTube. Like, I think these two.
Okay. YouTube channel. So I'm gonna put that in the description down below so you guys can actually check. And Alex also has a mastermind, a program which is ESS. I'm the part of it. I'm really, I can vouch for it. Like, it is actually the best thing I did in 2022. That to be in the last, but I'm still a part of it, and we have amazing conversation going on over there. I can actually interact with the like-minded people. That's the reason I'm there. So you can actually check him out. Full support for Alex, because I know him. I've tested his stuff. So
Done.
thank you so much,
Yeah,
Alex,
let's
and
get
we're
it
gonna
done. If
get
you
you in
guys want
part
it,
two. Just
I mean,
promise to
you
the
gotta
audience we're gonna
comment. You
get
gotta
in the
get some
part two.
engagement in this video.
Done. Perfect. Amazing, bro.
Yeah. Thank you, Nick.